Hello, today we will making a machine learning model. We will be making a salary predictor using simple linear regression. So let me just write it. Salary predictor. So let's start. We first import models. Pandas as PD, import sorry, numpy as np, then I think that's it for now. Make sure you have installed these packages. So move. Okay, we'll import the data frame now. df equals to pandas sv, and we'll just put the path, the file name of the CSV file. Let me just okay. Yeah, so I have copied the name of the file. Now let me run it. Yeah, that's perfect. df dot add. Yep. Okay, we just remove this unnamed because it's of no use. So I took this data from Kaggle. I'll leave the link of the Kaggle down in the doc and also the GitHub repo for this code for the code. Okay, so yeah, now I'll just remove this unnamed. So cdf equals to df, I think this, and yes, experience. Okay, and then we'd say sorry, then we'd say salary. Sorry, what's the issue with it? It's oh yeah, cdf dot head to see. Yeah, now it's perfect. Now let's plot it. We'll use scatter. So plt dot scatter. Okay, and we'll say cdf dot. We have just cdf dot salary, and we set the color to, I think red is the best. Yeah. Now let me just label it plt dot x label. X label is the thing. Yeah. So what happens is the x is the independent value, which is years experience, and we'll be protecting the salary, so it will be dependent on years experience. So the dependent value will be y. So X label will be years experience, and similarly the Y label will be salary because salary is Y, the dependent value. Okay, and sorry, plt dot show. Yep, yeah. Now you can see we have a beautiful graph here, scatter plot. Okay, so now that we have visualized the data, let's move forward. I don't think there's need to make a histogram for the data, so that's enough. Now let's divide the data into two parts. We divided it into test and train data. So we'll be using np.random.rand to divide the data into two parts, which okay, we will be saying df, and here we will be, I think df will be 2. Like, I think cdf is best, and here we'll say 0.8. So what's happening is here is we'll set the value of true to 0.8. So there is the 0.80% of the data, 0.88 is 80%. So 80% of the data would be true, which means positive. Okay, and left over 20% would be false. Okay, now we'll be training. So CDF MSK. So MSK is for positive data, and test equals to CDF MSK. So this here, which paper, is used for negative. Okay. So now that we have divided the data into positive, true, and false, let's see what we have. So train dot head, and here we go. Excellent, amazing. We have divided the data. I think there's no need to see test one because we already know what it would look like. Okay. Anyway, so let's just make a scatter plot for it to just copy it from here, and we'll say train, and yep, here we go. Amazing. But so now we'll be training the model. So first let's import from sklearn dot linear model. So what we're doing is we'll be importing linear model from sklearn. There's two ways to import it. I'll tell you. First, let me write it. Linear model. So here what we're doing is we're importing sklearn. We're importing linear model from sklearn. The second method is what we can do is we can write this here dot sklearn, and from here we can write linear regression. Regression. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. So there are two ways we have to write import linear regression because we have to use that. So both are correct. So now let's move forward. We first declare a regression model. What is regression? So it is the linear. Let me just copy it from here and paste it. Okay, and then let me see if we are on the right track. Yep, we are on the right track. Now we say train x equals to np dot add. So we convert train data. What we had here was years experience. So we convert it into an numpy array. Okay. So as any array. Okay. And here we'll be saying train, and what was that? I think years experience. We have it. We only have copied it, so we just take from here. So Control C. We replace it with train Y, and we replace this with salary. Okay. Now that we have done that, we'll load our model. Okay. So regression dot fit. We'll say train X will be the X value, and train Y will be the Y value. Okay. Now we have done that. Okay. So now we have the coefficients and the intercept. Okay. So now we'll take out the output. So now we have trained the model. That's it. We are literally done with that. That's all. Okay. Now we'll just make a scatter plot for it. So same method. We'll be just copy pasting it here, and here we go. I think we can just take it train X and train Y, train X, and here we'll replace this with train Y. Okay. Yep. Now that we have done that, okay. Let's not do this. Let's change it back to train. To a train. It's the same thing, but I think that's better. That's a better method. So, yeah. Now that we have done that, we just make a line which will cross this scatter plot. So let's do that. Okay, I think so. We'll be making a plot plt.plot, and we will be saying train x, and here we will be saying predict train x. Okay. Yeah, and we will say I think what happened. What's the issue? Train x is not defined. I think it's defined, but it's saying that. I wonder why. Let's see that controls. Let me just run it. Okay, I think that was run it. Predict. I think it's sklearn, not predict. Oh, let's just use the second. Okay, now that method is not working. I'll remember. I'll tell you this method, but for now, let me use the second method. So what we're doing in this method is we're using the first value of regression of the coefficient. Okay, so we're taking the first value of coefficient with this with the 0 0. Okay, we're taking out this first value of the coefficient with two coefficients, and we are multiplying with the train x, and here we're taking out the first value of the we're taking out the y-intercept, okay, from the regression model, and this should work. Why is it not working now? Okay, sorry. Really sorry. Yeah, here we go. Now we can also say blue and green works. Yeah, green works. So, yep, that's all the same thing. We can change the color from here. Yep, here we can see we have made the project. We are now trained the model. We have now trained the model so it can predict the salary. So let's try it. Let's try. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll say first, let's say we just make some test values. Test x equals to np dot. Just copy from here, here, and replace this with test. Now, okay, and then we also make a test y, and we'll just copy this, and we'll replace train with test. Replace it with test. Now that we have done this, let's just ask it to predict our values. for the test values. Okay, so now we'll say test y equals to, and so what was the name? Regression dot predict. Okay, and we'll say test x. So what's happening here is we have trained the model with train x, and now we'll ask, we have trained the model with the train values. Okay, we have loaded the model with that, and now we'll ask it to predict the test values. Okay, so we haven't used this test values to predict to load the model. Okay, we haven't loaded and we haven't trained the model with the test values. We have only trained it with the train values. Okay, now that we have done that, let's, and there's an advantage. We have the values, the correct values, and now we also have the correct values. So what we can do is we'll say test y dot head. Sorry, no, it won't work. So let's just, yeah, it just gave us an array, and here we'll say test y dot head. Okay, what's the issue here? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Okay, test. Yeah, here we go. So, the latest value we have here is, yep, I think that's, yeah. So, you can see our model is quite the same. So, here we have, because we have asked it to, so let's ask it to print the whole thing. Why isn't it working now? Okay, so let me tell you the automated way to do that. So the automated way to do that is create a plot. Wait a minute, why am I repeating the whole thing? Let me just do this, and here I'll replace this with, sorry, replace this with, sorry, with predict, and just put a comma here, and we say train x. So this is the manual way, and this is the automated way. So let me just show what's, oh sorry, what did I do? Shit boy, what am I doing? Yeah, now I've set to train. Yeah, so you see, so you see, that's the thing.